Hey guys, I'm making this video as a follow-up to my last one where I talked about what in the fields is happening. It's not the last one, it was the one before last, where I did a short explanation of why in the world, when you're trying to think of things, you can't find the thoughts. It's like the files have been deleted, things aren't working like they used to. It's making you feel lost, confused, scared, a lot of WTFs out there. So if you need to catch up, go and watch that other video. I will put the link to it in this description. This is a follow-up based on questions. I've gotten many questions today, which I'm so proud of. And everyone's asking the actionable thing. What can I do to help myself? What can I do to go within? And I think that's so wonderful, and I'm so excited that is the appropriate response right now. So I want to try to give you some tips and tricks and things that I've done. I don't know everything, but if we all share our information, then we can collectively come up with a plan, come up with a solution. Quick note, I don't really have any desires or designs on like being YouTube or internet famous. There's not going to be any like, share, subscribe, join my club, all that stuff. That's nice, obviously, if you want to share the stuff, if you think someone can benefit from it, that's cool. But really the most important thing to me is to get this information out. And that's the other thing. I won't just make a video just to say I made a video. If something doesn't bubble up in me and give me the distinct instruction to share it, then I'm not going to. So it could be a long time between videos. I doubt that's going to be the case right now because things are firing up. They're popping off everywhere. So people are asking, how do I go within? And the natural thing that people think of first is meditation. And that's the tool that's programmed into your mind. You know, it's either prayer or meditation. That's everyone's go-to. Prayer and meditation are important. In my opinion, they're relatively the same thing. It's just that one seems more like you're asking and one seems more like you're listening, but they're pretty much, they should put you in a very similar vibration, which is the most important thing. I'm going to talk less about what you should do and ways to aspire to be. Because as you embody, as I become these things, then the things that I do will naturally follow suit. So it's much more about a state of being. Why is that? I know my pupils look funny, by the way. It's the way the light is hitting. I don't have slit pupils. It's the way it's like there's shadows and it's making it look that way. I'll put a picture of myself somewhere so you can see that I don't have slit pupils. So it's more about a state of being. When people say, when you talk about the meditation or the prayer, my first thought is, okay, if you're going to go into meditation, that's something that you're only going to pursue for, say, a few minutes a day or even 30 minutes a day. So let's say you pursued prayer or meditation for 30 minutes a day, this being your way of trying to go inside of yourself. There is nothing wrong with it. I highly suggest doing it. Do not misunderstand me. I'm taking it another step further, though. So if I were to meditate 30 minutes a day, that leaves 23 hours and 30 minutes where I'm just raw dogging this shit, right? Where I'm just like running around like, what did I find out in meditation? Wait, what was that feeling I had in there again? Let me hurry up and try to tune back into it. So meditation is important, but in my opinion, especially right now with everything that's going on, the priority should be to set myself into a state of being, of perpetual meditation, so to speak, to modulate my vibration, which is a direct result of your emotional/mental state. I also made another video earlier about how emotions code your reality. And that is oversimplifying it. I do understand that. But the emotion that you feel in your belly, the predominant, the overriding feeling you have in your belly, Okay. Most people don't even know what they feel in their belly, or they don't tune into it often enough. If you were to stop right now, tune into your heart space, tune into your belly right below your rib cage. What do you feel? I suspect most people will feel anxiety, nervousness, anxious, scared, confused, lost. That's probably something that's going on in your belly. These are, when you maintain this emotional state, it's energy in motion. When you sustain and maintain that energetic structure, it's a geometrical structure. When you maintain that in your belly, then it pops off codes into your fields, and it's basically instructing the fields, the morphogenetic fields. We're basically in the ether. We're an information soup, swimming around in an information soup. Our avatar instructs the ether, okay, think about the word either, E-I-T-H-E-R. Well, ether is E-T-H-E-R. So it's I am choosing what the ether is going to bring to me, i.e. either. I'm going to choose either, right? That's what that means. I am dictating what the ether delivers to me in the form of experiences and matter, third dimensional matter. Pretty much the way that it works is this realm it's a holographic projection. And that's really easy. There's so much evidence of it. It's out of this world. You can find that anytime. Just start looking for like hologram theory or simulation theory or whatever. It does not make your experiences any less real. So if I say it's holographic or I say it's a simulation, that has shit to do with how real it is for you, because this is the point. It's supposed to be real for us. So don't think that I'm mitigating what you've experienced in your life, or yeah, it was all fake, it doesn't matter. No, hell no. That's definitely not what I'm saying. So, and then you consider the fact that if we're made up of atoms, and atoms are 99.999 whatever percent empty space. So if I'm made up of a billion atoms that have, say for the sake of conversation, zero mass, they have a little bit more than that, but say zero mass. Atom has zero mass, and I have 900 billion atoms in my body. Well, 900 billion times zero is still zero. So it is a holographic, it's much more fluid than we have been taught or told. This experience is very fluid. The things that appear solid are just vibrations slowed way down. So that being said, my vibrational state, my steady and sustained state of emotion / state of mind is what goes out and codes the ether and tells the ether what I want to experience. It's like the internet or like Facebook when you're scrolling through things and it has all these algorithms where it notices what you slow down on, what you take time to read, what you like, what you share. Whatever you send the energy to is what it will present back to you. So when we are in a state of mind, emotion together, they work together, of angst, anxiety, doubt, fear, worry, then we're telling the ether that we are unstable and we are very unsure. This can be remedied. It takes practice and it takes time. Obviously, yes, do your meditations. Of course, I do them too. I like to tune in because I like to have my opportunities to just go straight into the energy fields and look around without any noise of the 3D around me. So I get very clear instructions, very clear information doing that. However, throughout the day, because I am so sure about how our energetic state affects what the ether delivers to us, And especially right now with this system collapsing, your state, your energetic state is going to be paramount. So this is what I started to do when I realized that I was creating my own shit show. Watch your thoughts and the corresponding feeling that they give you in your belly, in your heart space. So, for instance, I've spoken before about how I have a little bit of road rage sometimes, okay? So I've had days, now I haven't had any of these recently, but when I was first starting out doing this, where I'm driving, I'm on a road trip or something, and somebody's driving slow in front of me, or they slam on their brakes, or they pull out, or two people block the fast and the slow lane. That drives me crazy, right? I can't pass. You guys are just hanging out, like going like 50 and it's 55. It makes me want to just get out of my way. I got somewhere to go. I'm carrying that anger, right? I started practicing and paying attention. What are my thoughts and what's the corresponding emotion that goes with it? My thought is these people are stupid. And the corresponding emotion is I'm angry about them being stupid. And the corresponding reaction from the ether is to bring me more stupid people. So it isn't their fault. And I'm so sorry for calling people stupid. We're just, they're let's just pretend they're not real. Okay. Let's pretend I'm talking about a movie or something. So I was creating that for myself. I was coding that into my reality because it isn't a matter of saying, I don't want this, although I disagree that you should not resist. Some people say what you resist persists. Some things you absolutely must resist. So I don't think that that's necessarily always the case. But that was the overriding energy and emotional state was these people are stupid and they are enraging me. That was the loudest voice and the most pervasive vibration in my body, in my mind, in my heart space. So I started to practice. Okay, stop. When I start to feel start to feel myself like spinning into an emotional tizzy, stop. In that moment, you want to meditate in that moment, even driving down the road, check your heart, do a heart check real quick, a mind check real quick. What is my prevailing thought right now? What's my prevailing vibration right now? When I talk about a vibration, I mean the state of being inside of your heart space that's also corresponding with your mind. Because if you had the right machinery, you could measure this bioelectrical field coming off of somebody. And actually, that's what the shine is. Like in the holy paintings and stuff, they paint the people with like this light around them or a crown around them. That was their shine. That was their bioelectrical field, but it was so pure and beautiful. It literally shone. Your bioelectrical field is measurable. So for me, the way I learn and do things is I would start, and I also read a book by C.W. Ledbetter called Thought Forms. And they have illustrations of what different thoughts look like in the bioelectrical fields and the morphogenic fields around us. So like jealousy and anger is this jagged red looking thing, like a worm. Love is a beautiful symmetrical blue color. So it's easier for me having been armed with the idea of what these thought forms, because thoughts take form. Consciousness is measurable. Consciousness is actually collectible and interpretable. I think I've got a video on my channel explaining to you guys how that works. I got it from the CIA website. So this stuff is real, it is measurable, and it does take on a form. So for me, when I do a gut check, heart, mind, where am I? What am I doing here? I associate a picture with it. So if I'm feeling jealousy, let's say I'm feeling jealousy. And if I start to feel that emotion, I'm going to know right away that I'm emitting a very ugly, gnarly looking bioelectrical shape. I am disturbing my fields. I'm also disturbing the field of the person who I'm thinking negatively about, who's causing the jealousy, which is a whole other thing, which we can get into that later. So I heart check, mind check, what's coming, what's spewing out of me. I picture it as an actual physical event. There's a physical thing coming off of me. That's how I picture it. And I go, so let's go back to the road rage scenario. Like, I'm angry, I'm doing all this. Oh, as soon as I catch myself, I go, skirt, stop. It does not matter how legitimate I think my anger is. I am still the captain of my vessel. And I know how this place works. And I know that it doesn't matter if I have every right to be mad at these people or not, if they really are driving like idiots, hasn't shit to do with shit. It doesn't matter, because my priority needs to be maintaining a state, a vibrational state that is healthy and pure and authentic, so that why? I can attract healthy, pure, and authentic things back to myself. And so this takes watch your mind, watch your heart, practice. Mind, heart, practice. Listen. So what this will do for you is you'll stop putting your attention out into the 3D, into the outside world. Okay, so instead of me having my attention on those people and how bad of drivers they are, it calls my attention back inside of myself, back into myself, to explore who am I? Who am I really? Why am I having these feelings? Why am I so mad at them? Is it really going to take me that much longer to get where I'm going? You know, they don't know that I get aggravated when people drive slow in the fast lane. They don't know that I'm in a hurry. That's someone's mother, someone's grandmother, someone's aunt or something, or father or whatever. It could be either, whatever. So I practice calling myself back into a more authentic and caring state of mind and being, because that's where I prefer. That is my preferred default setting. And that is the ultimate goal, is to get yourself into a state of being that pretty much almost puts you in a state of constant meditation. And so but I have to first determine what I want my default setting to be. If I do a random gut check throughout the day, what do I want to feel in there? Most people don't even ever do that, or even listen to themselves. They listen to the noise around them, and none of that matters at all, especially right now. The noise is changing as we speak. Your third dimensional reality is falling apart. Your only really safe place to go is inside. So pay attention when those things bubble up in your belly. Pay attention to the chatter in your mind. And this needs to be your predominant goal. What am I thinking today? What am I feeling today? Practice. You will develop tools when if you do a gut check and it's full of angst, full of anxiety. My go-to every time to get myself out of a rut is gratitude. And gratitude should be very easy for you to come up with. If it's not, then you start working on that first. I have a person who I know who I was trying to talk to this about this to recently, and everything I said that they had to be grateful for, they found something else that they didn't have to be grateful for, or that something they should be angry about. And these are, they had some yes, you can legitimately be upset about this person that you love dying right in front of you. 100% I am not delegitimizing the events that occur to you. I am just explaining that you have power over how it affects you, should you choose to utilize that power. You always have the power. That event in that person's life was done. It's over. It doesn't matter how long it's been. It's done. He's not going to go back and be able to change that. If you're still alive, then you should still be focused on moving forward. How do I move forward? How do I heal from this? How can I honor that person by using their death as a catalyst and a tool to help me grow? That is easier said than done. I know. I have been through untold trauma myself. I am not coming from a place where this was easy and I had it easy all my life. I did not. I grew up in a very traumatic household, lots of physical abuse, sexual abuse, spiritual abuse, you name it, bestiality. I mean, it was real rough. It was rough for me growing up. And then I had many of those experiences as an adult as well, because I still carried those codes in my fields because I hadn't healed them. So I was still spewing this off into the ether, and the ether was answering me back because I was a victim. I grew up, I was victimized as a child, and I put on the cloak of victimhood. I was a victim. My primary vibration deep inside of me, if I'm being honest, was I have been victimized by this world. And I have every right to feel like a victim. Yeah, I sure did. I had every right to feel like that. But it was only destroying me piece by piece. And it was only drawing those same exact things back into myself. I wasn't hurting the other people who had done bad things to me. I was hurting me. I was squashing my chance at growth and happiness and peace because I identified so deeply with being a victim. But I didn't get to that place until I started listening to myself. And that is practice. Again, that is gut checks several times a day, especially gut checks when things are going sideways. So I don't want to take too much more of your time. There's so much more to this, and I might make this a series. If you guys want to hear more, if you want me to go more in depth, I can get real in depth about this because I care that you understand how to operate your avatar in order to have a more full earth experience. And I care that we have tools as a family to quickly be aware of a situation, aware of of noise in your gut, aware of chaos in it, and manage it before. Because the longer, as you spit these codes off and they sit in your fields, the longer they hang out in the fields and they sit out there and vibrate, if they stay out there in a sustained way, they begin to crystallize and they begin to call in matter to themselves or call in experiences, third dimensional experiences to you is what ends up happening. The longer you hold it in the fields, it crystallizes and it will begin to manifest. So you are going to feel all sorts of crap, okay? You're supposed to. This avatar is amazing. It's got so many settings in it. You're supposed to feel all these things. And then add on top of that, you're in a society operating under a matrix that inverts everything. And everything feels unnatural. And the only way that you can kind of get through your day is to make yourself feel like it's less unnatural. But deep down in your heart, you're like, this is some bunk. This is not right. So gut checks, that's my biggest thing right now. Listen to yourself, listen to your mind, listen to your heart. Go in, just do them several times a day. If you want to set an alarm for yourself, like, what am I feeling? What am I emitting off of my avatar right now? What would my field look like if someone took a picture of it? Identifying, knowing to listen to yourself and knowing how these overarching emotional states affect you is step number 1. And then 2 is find yourself a trick to pull yourself out of that darkness or whatever the heavy vibration is. Again, I use gratitude. You could use joy or music or art or comedy or food or cooking or anything that pulls you out of that and gives you joy, that inflects just a little bit of joy, a little bit of light. Shine some light in that place. And then that will begin to scatter. And as you do that, I kind of call it like opening a tab. Like when someone asks me, can you tell me, do you know anything about this or that subject? And if I don't, I'll say, I don't, but I'll open a tab in my fields and I'll let information come to it and I'll go back and check it later. And I just think to myself, okay, I want to know about Thule Island. That was one I did recently. I want to know about Thule Island. Pop it in my mind. I picture literally opening up a folder in my field, and then I command the ether, the intelligence, to come and bring information to it, just like search results on your computer. So if you need to, as you go through this, you can absolutely open your own little tab and say, I need to know tips and tricks. I need to bring people to myself who are going to encourage me and help me along this path. Again, I don't want to get to give you too many things that you have to think about, or again, don't think about it as something that I have to do. We are going to practice getting in a state of being. How am I being right now? So I hope that really helps. If you guys have questions, let me know. And if you want me to go way more in depth, we can do this. Let's get it on, because this place is about to collapse. And we have to get as many people up and running and prepared as possible. One last thing, adaptation. Take your feet out of that mud. I almost forgot to say that. Pluck your feet up out of that mud and get out of that stuck state of mind made of being and doing. Pull them out. Be ready to juke, ready to jive. I am prepared for anything that comes my way. Again, that will come naturally as you practice your state of being. Love you guys. Bye.